tutorial series for Atavism. Today we're going to actually look at building our first terrain, planet, where we're going to land on for this space MMO we're working on. So just for those who don't know, Atavism is actually, let me just see, there we go. Atavism is a MMO system that we've created. It helps you, it's like a plugin for Unity. It helps you to create MMO games with a little bit more ease. We have a bunch of plugins in it already that does the common MMO systems in place. And this series we're doing right here is actually showing how to do it, and we go through each time we do a series every second weekend or so. We show a little bit more, and we're actually building a space MMO while we're doing it, so everybody can see how it works. So welcome to everybody that's on the channel. I see we have got a few people here. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it and get some more information from what we're doing here, some tricks maybe. So today's series we didn't do did it beforehand and did the documentation on it. We're just gonna do this on the fly. So I might get stuck on some things like you would in a normal game development. So just bear with me. And so let's get started. So hopefully everybody is set up their project already with the other series of the first two episodes that we did, or the first episode that we did. Showed us a bit of setup and stuff, those two, the UI and stuff. Now we're going to do the planet building. So we're going to use MapMagic for our planet building. Just want to make sure, can everybody hear me clearly? If you guys have any questions, you can always shoot it through. I'll see if I can look at it and answer it while we're busy doing this. But mostly we wait till the end to do that. So what you'll do first is you'll go to MapMagic and then to scenes, the scenes folder. And they've got a demo scene. So we're just going to do the demo scene and modify it a little bit. Sorry. I'm not gonna go deep into using MapMagic and how all that works, because they got their own tutorials. It's a different package than Atavism. So what you do is we're gonna copy this demo scene that we have right here. So you can press Control D to make a duplicate. So you see there we created another scene. That's a duplicate of that one. I'll call this. Let's call this planet Arden. That's our scene. That's the planet we're gonna go to. That's the first one. And because we're gonna have different sections of this planet, I'll call it Arden North. There we go. So let's open up this scene first. So yeah, if you see up there, so this is now the scene. It didn't change much, but it's a new one. It's because it's a duplicate. Show you guys a little bit. I actually really enjoy MapMagic. It's procedurally generated terrain. You can use other terrain systems if you want to, but we're just using this because I actually enjoy using this in the scope and the size of it does, and it runs pretty decent frame rates and so on. But it's really up to whatever you guys want to use in your project. So this gives you an idea of it. So first thing we want to do is we're going to change some of the textures and stuff to make it more like an alien planet, and we're going to use the package that we brought in, the space. What is the space? This one that's called space. We're going to use that one. So to start off changing stuff, if you click on the MapMagic on the side here, you'll see it has all these settings. So you can set your heights and stuff. You can generate different terrain sizes and stuff. We're just going to leave all that like it is right now. The one thing we are going to do is, because every data you get from MapMagic, each terrain it has, like for every scene, it gets saved in a data file, and you want to change this data file. Otherwise, if you do changes on this now, it will change the demo version 2, and then you have nothing to go back to. So let's say release, and then we're gonna save this. So once it released it, this data file is cleared, and you press save, and let's save it in, let's see, I'm going to save it in the scenes folder, and we call this something else. So what is this? wait, what is this scene again? So it's Arden North. So we call this data Arden underscore North. And we save it there. So now you'll see it's changed this data file to Arden North. So anything we change here will go to this data file instead of the demo's data file. So we won't be changing the demo itself now also. So then next thing we want to do is we're going to click the show editor. So it just opens up another screen, but I'll pull it in here for you guys. So MapMagic works on a node-based system. We generate different things according to the nodes that you place down. Like this is the height map. You have different nodes here. Like I'm still studying all this stuff myself, so I'm not an expert at this at all. Like I said, if you guys want to get more information on it, you can always go to the tutorial series. So let's see. Yeah. So first thing we want to do is when you open it up, I want to move some of the stuff. You can move the nodes around. See, this one has already changed because I never saved it properly like I did. But you'll see that this has got different textures on these slots here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the texture of this one. You'll see this has got yours will have a different texture than the one that's in here. I already changed the textures to this. And the textures I'm using, if I move this way, is the ones that comes with the space package. But what I did is I changed the color of it. So I took this in Photoshop and played around with it to change the color because I wanted to make it like a purplish planet. You can just use whatever they have right here if you wanted to, but you can also go and do the same if you want to. Just take it in any image texture editing program and just change it. You can change the hue. I just changed the hue to like a purplish color. You can see all these. I've changed them and saved them out to like different purple colors. So then we just switch all these textures for the terrain to these ones. So the first one, the bright one that's set at bright, we change it to mainland rock texture. Then if you click on the rock one you see we leave the same as it is. And then if you click on the dry one, we change that one to mainland flow texture. Then if you go to grass, we change the grass one to, let's see here, mainland. So now we got all the textures changed. Next thing we want to do is we want to change the grass colors because the grass is green currently. So the first one you change the color will be changed to 231 127 181. Again, 231 127 181. So you can put those numbers in and you can get these colors. Obviously all this you guys can change to whatever you want to feel like when you play around with it. And the second one is a 209 97 244. So that's the dry and the health colors. Then we go to the chameleon. So that grass we changed to 135 0 and 255. Then if you go to the second one, it's a 233 185 227. Then we go to the Nestle. Nestle is 238 37 83. And the second one is 238 120 240. So now we change all the grass. The other thing to do is yours, if you look at the one that you have, the density won't be that thick. I changed the density to 4 for the grass because I want thick grass. It just makes it look a little bit more nicer for me. I changed the density of the chameleon to 3 and a Nestle to 3. And I think that's all I changed on this. Then we go down, the stone we leave the same. I think I had a bug where it generated duplicates of the stone. So let me just see here. If I go, well, he had a bug in his last package, but he fixed it in the latest update, and I haven't updated yet. If I click this and I turn it off, you see there's still a duplicate stone there. And to fix that bug, he has it fixed on his current latest version, but if you don't have the latest one yet, all you have to do is you have to go here, remove this, and remove the combine, and relink it, this node, to this one here, if I'm correct. Come now. There we go. There we go. And now that should fix that problem. So the next thing we're going to do is change the trees. Now I changed a bit of the trees to these ones. So the first one is the bushes. It's a Xeno cactus. I changed my bush to be Xeno cactus. Like all these settings you guys can change. Oh, it already started generating it. It's a train. So if you change the bush to Xeno cactus, it's this one here. So we go down to space, prefabs, foliage, right? And then you go to Xeno cactus. This one, yeah. And when you bring it in the first time, you'll see that this is like massively big on the terrain when it gets generated. So you have to go into this prefab and change its scale down. Like all these things, I had to change all their scale down because their proportions, same like we did with the space station from this package, the proportions was totally wrong with what our characters and stuff is. So we changed that down to sorry, to 0.3 for all the scaling up here, if you can see that. And then we add that into, we drag that prefab then into the Xeno cactus. And you can see here, when you generate different objects with like bushes and stuff, you can split objects stuff in here. And just make sure that your scale is set 0 to 100 there. The next one we did was the Xenox fern. So if we go there, the Xenox fern is this one here. That one I changed the size to, just give me a sec. Sorry about that. So the next thing we did is the Xenox fern flower, and the scale we're doing is 0.4 for all of these, and we drag that into the second slot for the bushes under the tree, yeah. And that size is also 0.21. No, that size 0 to 100, yeah. And then we left the bush that he has there. He's got a thing that says bush. We just left that the same, so we're not changing that at all. Now we go down to the trees. So you see there's a lot of different tree sections that he's got here. And the first one we're doing is the Xenox palm. So on the trees, also change the size of the trees to 0.3 up here to scale. And we dragged it into the first slot there. Then the second slot is Xerox palm. Sorry, first one was Xerox palm 2. Second one is Xerox palm. Xeno palm. Xerox. Xeno palm. So that's that one here. We change the scale to 0.3 for all of them. Then the third one is Xeno Bau. I don't know what it's called. Let's see what I did here. So let me just move these out here. So these objects, just to make sure, the first one, the Xenox palm, Xeno palm 2, is a 2 scale 2 to 5, and to make sure that is like that. Second one, the Xeno palm, is scaled in this side here 2 to 15 in the split, and in the third one it's 15 to 100. And then we go to our last one, it's also 15 to 100, and this is Xeno Bow 2. These things got weird names. So let's go down here, and for the Xeno Bow 2, let's say the Bow 1, I did that 0.4.4, all of them, and then the 2 I did 0.5 for all of them. Like I say, these are all numbers you guys can play around with, depending on how you want your world to look. I mean, you can put different models in here. These are all different things, but this is just what we're using for this tutorial series. Then we go down to the bottom one. The first one we did was the 0 fern, and the scale there is inside the split is 0 to 5. And if you go to 0 fern, it's this one here. We scaled this one to 0.8, 0.8 for all of them. Then the second one is 1 to 15, and it's 0.35. So we go 0.35. We scale this one 0.4 for all of them. And the third one in the second batch, it's 15 by 200, and it's 0.32. And 0.32 we scaled 0.7 for all of them. And the last one is 15 to 100 as Xenos tree straight, and we scaled the 0.3 straight 0.4 for all of them. So now we've set up our terrain. We changed some textures and stuff in MapMagic and so on. So all you have to do is, if it doesn't do it yet, you just press the generate. It'll generate it. You got a seed there, so you can change seeds and stuff if you want for different planets, but we'll get to that later. So let's see. So there we go. So we changed all these things, but the sky is still the same, and we want to make the sky the same color as, we're not using a sky system or something like that. We want to make it the same color. Let's first save this. Yeah, and the save project. Always save project. We want to make the sky the same color as this demo scene of the space one that he has here. So what we do then is we go, where do I go now? We open up the space one here, and and then we go down to his demo scene he's got there in space, which is planet. I think it's planet, yeah. So you go down to planet, open it up. So you see it's got a different sky in here that goes nicely with the textures and stuff like that. And so because we're using that, we want to make sure that we get the same effect here. So the first easiest thing to do is to look for his camera. His camera will be under Spaceman B. You put it on his character. We don't use that, but let me see here. Or am I wrong now? Where's the main camera here? I thought it was underneath here. Ah, see. Let's just search for it. And there it is. So that's all we want. You just type in, you can search for stuff in the hierarchy if you can't find them anyway. So you see, we just got their main camera. What you want to do is right click on it and copy this main camera, because we want to grab all these settings that he's got here and pull it over. So we copied that. The other thing you also want to do is you want to go Windows, you can go lighting. Now somebody had a problem with fog. How do they get the fog changing and stuff like that in our demo scene for Atavism? That's what you do. You go into the scene, you go lighting, and then you see on the lighting you can change the light, the skybox, and all that stuff here. You can do pre-baking the shadows and lighting and stuff like that. But if you click on the fog, you can also change the fog. You see the fog is set up already to a color. You can change this color, you can change the exceptional and stuff like that. So let's see, for this scene of his, he's got the fog color set to, let me write this down because I want to take this with to the other one. So for 159, 196 and 246. So he set the fog color to this, and he's got it on exceptional squared and at that rate, but we can change that later. So this lighting, when it opens up, it goes per scene of Unity. So whichever scene you are, that's the one you're using. So now that we've copied the main camera, the next thing we do is we go back to our scene that we're busy working on. That'll be in the demo scenes. and this is Arden North. So we open up this, and you'll see it looks like this. Don't forget that if you have anything written in the search up here, there it will do that. It'll just focus on that one thing. So we go back here, and then we paste this main camera. The only reason I did that is so I can just copy the components on this main camera over to this camera, basically. Right? So what we do is we have that. Then we see, okay, this camera's got solid and it's got this background color. So we go main camera. See what this one has different, it says skybox. So let's do solid. And let's see what is this one's color set to. So this is 17, 23, 31. So you go back to the main camera and we click on the color thing. 17, 23, 21. That's the color there. Okay, and I think this one is set to solid. You can see the white there at the bottom. If it's solid, it'll go up there. So we go here and we change this to solid. Okay, I just want to copy whatever he did there, and then we can play around with it later on. So this, I don't care about all this stuff here. It's got 60,000 there. We could make this a little bit further. This is only 1500 to your far distance. Let's make it 10,000. So we can see a little bit further. Okay, now the next thing we have, he's got your mouse orbit improved. So this is for you moving your character. We don't need this. We're using Atavism's character. He's got anti-aliasing. So we can copy this component, anti-aliasing. Then we go on this main camera, which is our new one. So it's got other stuff on here. Leave that stuff on there, and just paste component as new. So it'll copy all the settings and so forth from this camera over to that one for that specific component. Then it's got sun shafts. So let's copy this and let's put it on here. Paste as new. And then he's got bloom lens effect. Copy that one. Paste as new. Smooth follow mouse, we don't need that. Floating origin, we don't want that. VR input module, we don't want that. We don't need any of these other things here. So all we do now, I don't think we do. So we just delete that. So we've got this now, and now what we need to do is, I think there's something else we have to do here. Oh, it's the skybox that we need to input here. So let's save this. I just want to make sure, because this doesn't look like the one that he has. So let's go see if we are missing something. So we go back to the scene here. No, these are our scenes. There we go, demo. Go back to planet. So something is here is different. So let's open up the lighting. I think it's got to do with the lighting. See which skybox he uses. He uses a skybox here. So that is in space, the skybox. That's the one we want to do. Right, and it's got a directional lighting. So we go to the lighting. That's just normal lighting. So skybox, that's the one we want. So we go back to our MapMagic's demo scene that we're working on. And let's go down. So you see it's got a different skybox in here. That's why it looks different. So let's go down to, where was that now? Materials. I think it's in materials. I think it's this one, yeah. And there we go. So now we click on the main camera. Oh, it's still not there. There we go. Maybe I didn't need to change it to solid. Okay. So there we go. So we got our skybox in there. Okay, that's all there. I want to change this field of view to 60 because that's usually what we use. I don't like 80. Now we go change our fog on this one. So the fog, I said, is we make it 159. This one 196. And this one here 246. Okay. So if you go to scene view, this is how it looks in the scene view. I'm not sure if I like the fog like that. I like to have a little bit of fog. It gives you a little bit more distance and it hides some stuff. So let's make the fog a little bit bigger. So you can just change the density here. Maybe to 4. Okay, and let's leave that like that. Let's give this a go. So we haven't incorporated Atavism into this yet. We're just playing around with this terrain and see how it looks. So we can get an idea if we like it or not before we do it. So it's generating the terrain. If you click the mouse move here, you can move the camera around. So yeah, let's see how this looks. A little trick, I'm not sure if you guys know it, if you press escape. So you click, you see up here you got minimize on play. If you click that, pause and unpause, it will change your screen size. And if you click it again, you know, and pause and unpause, it'll go back to small screen again. So you can toggle between screens like that with Unity. But let's do maximize. And let's see how this terrain looks. So it's got some fog down there. The grass looks pretty good. Nice and thick. Something is still missing. I still don't like something here. Oh, okay, I see what it is. So if you see here, the distance of the grass isn't rendered far. It only goes to about, you can see there in the middle by that tree. So let's go change that first, because I don't like that. I like a lot of grass. It just makes it look nicer. Obviously it should change the frame rate, but this runs so well, it doesn't do anything to the frame rate really. So we go back to MapMagic, right? And then we've got here, where do I do that? Terrain settings. You go to terrain settings, trees. I think, yeah, there we go. So you go to trees and grass settings. You can go detail distance. Let's make this 250. Make it max. There we go. That's a little bit better. So if we go play now. Okay, and let's click the mouse. Actually, I should have done is let's unclick the mouse. Okay, there we go. So now that's a little bit better. It looks a little bit better, the terrain. You can see that it renders the grass now right over the hills and stuff. So it renders it quite far. So let's just see if this is what we want. So yeah, that's pretty thick terrain. You can't see it far. So let's see. I mean, we can play around. There's a lot of things we can do, you know, with this further to make it look different, but this doesn't look too bad. This nice little area. Look at the trees and everything, space trees and everything there. So now the next thing, and it's nice, like I like the bloom effect in the distance. Oh, there we go. We found one bug. So if we go through here, oh, these got no collision on them. So if you see there, I can run through trees. Oh, interesting. All these trees has got no collider on them. See this one? This one's got a collider on. Oh, I did this one already. I think they all come without colliders, and even there's rocks here, you'll find that the rocks got no colliders on them. You see I go through the rock. So that's an easy fix. So next thing we're going to do, let's quickly fix that up, because that doesn't work nicely. So if you see in the editor, if you click on MapMagic and you open it up, let's go to the rock. I think the rock is up here. Oh, where did I go with that? Oh, there we go. Stone LOD, right? So if you click that, it'll show it to you in the project. So if you click on that, you go down to this actual stone, and then we just go component, physics, and we add a mesh collider on it because it's pretty big. So now that's got a collider on it. So the next thing we want to do is, so some of these trees don't have colliders on them. All you have to do is you have to let's zoom in here. Oops. Let's just get a tree. So we go, I think it is, I have to see which one it is of these ones. So we got a collider on this one now. Then we go down to the space package and the prefabs, and let's see here, foliage. Now I have to find a tree. So this one I think was one of them that didn't have a collider on them. Yeah, so let's just drag him in here. So there's the tree now. So we want to put a collider on this tree. So what you do is we go there, component, physics, and we want to put a capsule collider on this. But now you'll see the capsule collider is this green. It's way too big. We want to make it just the same size as this tree trunk, because that's what you're going to run into, right? If you scroll down here, you can see a capsule collider. It's got its position, it's got its radius, and it's got its height. So the height we don't care about. The radius is the roundness of it. So if you click on it, you'll see make a little arrow next to it in the gray. You scale it. You can scale it thicker or thinner. So let's just make it a little bit thinner like that. So I think that'll work. Focus on this. But now you'll see the collider is off on the one side. So we have to line this collider up here. So what we do then is you can set its position. So you can see I can move this around by moving the X, and the Z I can move around. So I move the Z a little bit and move the X a little bit back, and now it's lined up there. There you go. Okay, and now that's it. We've set up this collider for this tree. We just go there on the top there and you say apply, and now that collider is applied to that prefab. Let's delete this. Oops. Let's delete this again. So we got that on there too. Then when we go in, let's just make sure, go to the editor and make sure that this is generated. So we press generate again, it'll generate it. There we go, that's generated. And let's go play. Okay, so let's take this away, put the mouse on. So which tree was it? This one, yeah, that's the one we couldn't run in through. There we go. You see, now we can't run through it. We collide with it. And let's check the rocks. And we can't go through rocks anymore. Now they collided, and you can jump on them, but you can't go through them. So that's it. I think this works for our terrain. So next step we want to do is now we want to bring this terrain and get it ready for Atavism. So I mean it's ready for Atavism, but we have to set it up now so you can actually have our character run around here. So oh yeah, before I forget, the other thing we want to do is you want to click the terrain, or you can go MapMagic and you can say set MapMagic to terrain because terrain, if we set it to that layer, then the camera will not go underneath the terrain with Atavism. So let's say it asks you to do all objects. We don't want to do all of it because there's thousands of rocks and stuff in there. We don't need to do those ones. So we say no, this object only. You click on terrain to the first terrain that's there. You change it to terrain. You say no, this object only. And there you go. And then let's save this. Save scene, file, save project. Then we go down and we look for the scene here. Like I like to put all my scenes that I work on for the game itself in one place. So it's under MapMagic scenes now, but for all the game stuff that we do with Atavism, I drag it now. I just left click on it, drag it to the scene. So I move it to this folder. So I know when I go to scenes, this is all Atavism scenes that we're doing here. Okay, now the next trick is we have to get this ready so we can have Atavism characters and stuff run around in it. So now you go to the main world and you look for the main camera, that one there. And we want to bring the UI over and bring in an event system. There we go. That's all we want to grab from this scene to another scene. So you say copy. Then you get to the Arden North scene that we just worked on. You go there, right click, paste. So the canvas, we want to remove his canvas, so we can just delete it. We keep our canvas because that's our UI that we want. Event system, we can remove his event system. We keep our event system. Change the name. The main camera, we want to keep his main camera. So we have to move some stuff from our main camera to his main camera so that it will work. So what we want to do is we want to go first, take the Atavism. You see Atavism 3D input, person input. We want to copy that component, go to his main camera, paste the component as new. So you should see down there it's pasted now, right? And then we want to go and we don't want sun shafts, we don't want the bloom from this camera, anti-aliasing. So we can take this click to move component over because that's part of Atavism. Right click, paste component as new. And then we want to take the SDE targeting system because we're going to use that. Copy that. Paste component as new. So now you'll see we've got all the Atavism, these three here, on there. Let's just make double sure we don't need any of these other things here. No. I think that's it. Tag this main camera. Okay. So we can go there and we can tag this. Is tag this main camera. So that's all we need from this camera, and we can delete that one now. So now we have our UI and our camera. So why is the UI not showing here? So let's see here. Oh, interesting. Somehow I have to set this to the camera. Now I have to go look for it. Let me just have a look here. Maybe it's got to do with the culling. everything. Okay. That's how it goes. Sometimes there's something that you miss. And now we have to see here. Somewhere I know you drag in a camera or to set it. Okay. I don't want to go look for it now. I know you have to set it in the canvas so it can show up. It's not showing up on the camera there. So let's just do that. Let's go step back. That's how it goes. Let's go back to our main world. Don't save anything here. And let's go this. Grab these two things here. Actually, this doesn't show it either. Why would this not show the UI? Let's go test this out first. I just want to make sure because something is weird here. Let's log into our world quickly and let's see. So you guys can see I changed the background image here for the login scene and I did some buttons here from before. So let's log in quickly. I just want to make sure that UI, maybe it's just me. That is interesting. Unity's got its own mind sometimes. Let's try again. What do you mean cannot find world server? Well, let's go here. And just restart the world. I don't think I have restarted it yet. I just logged in like a few minutes ago, but maybe I didn't restart it. Wrong one. So yeah, let's give it a minute or two. So while we wait, do you guys have any questions? We can I can answer while we wait for it to restart the server. Console, clear all that. That's all good. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah. Log in. There we go. Oh. Something's wrong. It shouldn't. I didn't delete the character. So let's try this again. Come on. What are you talking about? Now it can't find the world server. Let me go see. That's how it goes when you do this on the fly. Sometimes something creeps in. Doesn't work well. These things always happen when you're busy streaming. Okay, check it. it's all running. There we go. That's how it goes, right? Everything was running fine. It just took a little bit longer to start up than I was doing, giving it time. So you can see I changed a little bit of the UI here in this too. Like I did the UI series we did before. I did a bunch of changes here of the stuff. So there we go. So let's enter here quickly. See the UI works. There we go. Our UI is there. So something is weird. So that everything I did just now most probably would have worked. I don't know why it doesn't show the UI on the main camera when I click on it. Maybe I never noticed it. Let's go back there. Save there. Let's click the main camera again. I just want to see. Yeah, it doesn't show it. Very interesting. Very interesting. But it does work. So, so let's do this again. Copy those two. Go to Arden North. Wait. I still got its old UI. See here, did I save this? No, I didn't. Let's paste that in there. Save this. Copy here. Go here. That's why it does that. Because it's reading two main cameras. That's why it hides, because it reads two main cameras. There you go. If you delete it, it comes back. So anyway, let's just take this stuff again. Sorry doing it again. But practice makes perfect, right? So we copy the Atavism third person input again over to this camera here. There we go. Just do these three things quickly. So we have that. Then we have click to move. Paste as new. Then we have the SDE. So we copy that component. Paste as new. So we got our three Atavism components on here. Then we delete this one. Then we delete this canvas here, because we don't need that. So this is the canvas from our system. We delete that one. We don't need the event system. Let's change these to normal ones. The UI package is it's in a list there. We're using the space D HUD and space D NGUI, or you can use whatever space D. It's from Evil. So I have a link on in the forums. That image you saw there, that was the space image that I put in the background in the login scene. That's something I did up myself. So you can just put whatever image you want to put in there. So there we go. We got all this set up. So we say File, Save Scene, File, Save Project. Next thing we want to do is we want to have a spawning point. So let's see where we want to spawn. Let's spawn right here on this valley. We can overlook this valley. So usually for spawning points, it's the same as we did the main scene and did all that in the first session. So I usually go, I create a 3D object cube, right? So I can see it, bring it up. There we go. Put it up here. I call this spawn, so I always know where it is, right? Then you go to, you open up your Atavism online editor. There we go. Sorry, it was on the other screen. Then you open it up. Now first we want to create a new instance for this planet area. So we create an instance. We call this instance name is the same name as what you use here. So actually I want to change this underscore. I don't want that then. Actually I'll put it all as one. Arden North like that. So let's change this. Same name, same spelling, everything. Oops. Arden. Make sure it's always the same. North. We say create on startup. This is a world, so you can change what type it is, dungeon, group dungeon, but we just set it to world. Water height, I'll make the water height, there's no water here currently, so we make it like minus 500. Admin account, that's me. Population limit -1. You can set a population limit for world, but we just make it -1, means it's got no limit to it. Spawn marker, I called it spawn. And then it asks for the object, so this is the spawn marker I have here. And let's go that, add that in. So when you drag that object in, it'll give you the XYZ positioning. Make sure the object is actually, if you click on it, it's actually, you can see it, right? And we don't want to add other markers currently, so we just say save data. So now we go, Arden North, that world is saved. Right now we want to go, you can restart the server. So if we go here and restart that one, then we go and we open up our build settings, and now we have to add this world that we have here. So we just add it in there, otherwise you won't get to it if you don't add it to the build settings. And that's all you have to do. I want to turn the spawn point off. Then I want to save the scene and save the project. Okay, so there we go. We set everything up. We restarted the server. We should be ready to go now. So let's go to login. Let's see if this all works. Did I start? Oh, it's still starting. So when you restart server, usually I have to wait a little bit. So this is our first planet. So the idea I'm having with these planets is like here we'll just teleport right now directly to it, change instance, but now we want to make it so players can get there. So in our next episode, we're going to look on how we can maybe get a ship working, like I have to go think about it, to fly a ship like out of the hangar where we start off with on the main station, and then fly towards a planet. And then when you enter a certain distance from the planet or area, it will basically teleport you to the planet. So that's how I'm going to do this. Like you can't really go fly directly and land on the planet stuff. We're not going that complicated for this game. So, but we'll do some transition between it later on too, where it looks like you're flying actually towards it, but that's all smoke and mirrors. And then you'll land on this planet, and you can have different sides of the planet maybe you go land on. So you can go to different areas on this planet. And the idea is that the storyline we could make it maybe that the planet has got planets gets what do you call it now? When they send probes or something down and they actually deform the planet to itself. So that's the idea that I'm thinking of doing with this. So let's see if this works. Let's go try login. So go log in. Here's our character. We go enter with him. So we are in our stay station, and in other episodes you guys saw that we actually started putting this together. We're still going to work on this a little bit. I did a little bit of UI. You can see here I changed the chat boxes and stuff like that, so just to make it look a little bit better. And so let's do, so for now we're just going to do a change instance. Now to do this command you have to make sure your account is an admin account. Change instance, and oh, I can't remember what that name was. Let me do this and then I can see. You have to make sure your spelling is correct. So change instance, and we call it Arden North. And it'll do this because we don't have a loading screen. And oh, I know what we didn't do. We didn't delete his character. You'll see we can't move because it's still using his character system. So I'll delete it just now. There we go. So let me make this bigger. And there you go. Like, this is a planet we can go to. Give you guys an idea. Doesn't look too bad. I might have to play around with some stuff. So, but there we go. We're running around in our first planet. The grass is a little bit, maybe a little bit high. I don't know, I have to get to a flat area so we can see. But these are all things you can change on the fly, right? You can change around. Yeah, everything you see here, doesn't matter what type of game you make, you can use the same systems, same stuff with Atavism. You can do the exact same stuff. You can make a fantasy game, you know, it's the content you put in doesn't matter, right? This is all content. Like, this is a space planet, but you can have like a green planet or whatever you want to have, right? You can have a day-night cycle where it changes day-night and so on. So I actually don't like this coloring here, or the fog. I'm going to change this coloring. So let's stop play. Let's go back to this one. And then the other thing is, because this is generated on the fly, like this terrain is pinned here, but the rest isn't. And our characters require it to be pinned, or, you know, otherwise it'll fall through the ground. So let's start off with MapMagic. So you can pin terrain, and then when you pin it, it changes the terrain to be literally the same as Unity normal terrain. So you can edit the terrain, everything now, even though it's generated already. If you pin it, then it's not. You can't change stuff on the fly. Like, it won't generate, but you can change normal stuff. So I'm just pinning some terrains around here. So let's, oops, I want to repin that one. And because you're using the same seed, it will always generate the same way. So let's just pin some terrains here. It might make it a little bit slower, but so you just click pin and you just click on it and you see how busy pinning it. Are you talking about stable teleporting? You wouldn't use change instance. Like, there's different teleporting systems we have with Atavism, where you can actually make an instanced object and then you can set it to teleport instantly to the same area and stuff like that. That's what I would do. Are you talking about, or if you want to hire a mount from a stable, I would do something like, we're just waiting for this train to generate, so who knows. I would do is I would make it that you if you're hiring a mount, I would make it like a ability that when you click on the merchant to say click the item that you want to hire, like say in the UI, it's an object, and when you click it, it will do the mount ability. So basically, you'll get mounted onto the horse automatically. That's how I would do something like that. So okay, and then while this is building, we wanted to change the fog. I didn't like the fog really. Lighting. Let's go here because this has got a better view. So I don't want this blue. And I want to change this the ambient color. Let's play around with it. So let's see, fog. So I go here, click that, and then if you click this little eyedrop, you can go around and choose a color from there. So let's change that to this maybe. That looks better. That looks a little bit better. So I want to just use the base color of the background right there, right? So that when you look in a distance, it fades in with it. I think that looks a little bit better. We can try that. Okay, save file, save scene, and let's go back to login. Well, no. What other terrain tools do you mean when you say you want to use other terrain tools? You can pin it, and you can go to the paint terrain tool and stuff, and you click the terrain itself, and you can paint stuff and on it and so on. That you can do, yes, but you can't use like Gaia. It's like it's like using Unreal Engine and Unity together to make one game. It's the same. It's two different things that does the same thing. So you wouldn't be using other terrain tools on it. You can use stuff that's not generates terrain and stuff like that. Yes, that should be fine because it's the same. Whatever you can use on Unity terrain default, you can use on it when you pin it, basically. But if you press generate after you pinned it and you press generate, it will overwrite whatever changes you made. So don't press generate if you pinned it. What you need to do is, if after you've pinned it, there's another one. You can go here. Let me see if I have it now. Let me go back to map this one quickly. So you see there's another one here that says lock terrain. So once you lock a terrain, if you press generate on the editor, it won't change and regenerate stuff on this pinned terrain. And you're locking the terrain. So that's how you would do it. So let's go back to login. Play. For this, we don't need to restart a server. When you do any terrain changes, you don't need to restart a server because it's got nothing to do with Unity. I mean, with Atavism, really. It's got to do with the Unity itself. Oh, I keep forgetting to turn that thing off. Let me just stop playing, do it now. So we go here. This still got his old character system in here too, so we don't know which one to use. So let's just delete the character, you see there? And there we go. Now we file save. Now we won't have that problem. Always do a save project. There we go. So we go in here again. Login. Enter. Oh, what's going on now? I thought it was that. There we go. That sky is nice now. Okay. Go to spawn. I don't know why our character doesn't want to move now. Let's go and create a new character. Somehow it doesn't, I think my computer is slowing down or something. Let's see. There we go. So this works here. There we go. That was very weird. For some reason my mouse isn't showing up. But anyway, so we changed the color to purple, but that might not have been. I don't know if that looks good. Maybe it doesn't look as good. I should change it to something else. But anyway, you guys get the idea. So this is our world here. So now we have another world that we can travel to, right? And you can do that. So that's basically for this session. I don't know, the next one, like I said, we'll try and make it so we have a spaceship and we can basically fly to this world. So now that we've created it, it gives us a bit of an idea. You can play around with your settings, your grass and stuff like that as you want to, but that's about it. Yeah. Let's see. I bet you there's something on this camera. It's not working. So any questions? Anybody has any questions? Otherwise, we'll have this posted on a forum again. I mean, our YouTube and a forum. And the next time we'll maybe we'll do the spaceship, and maybe we'll see if we can't change a little bit of the characters' look and feel and stuff, because the default Yuma does not look as good. So see if we can get some clothing on you. Oh, and this is very dark here. I wonder if this is the lighting. It's there. Oh, I know what I did wrong there. You can go lighting. Sometimes you can change stuff on the fly. Put that on there. And ambient. There we go. Gradient or color. There we go. Color looks better. There we go. Color. I mean, the purple looks nice when it's up there. It's when you get down to that area so it doesn't look as good. But this is a alien planet, so it is what it is. So yeah, basically that's it for today. So the next one will be in 2 weeks time. We'll see what we can put in there with a little bit more stuff. Like now we've set up the base stuff for the game, you know. Now we're going to get into more stuff like the quests and so on, you know, and using Atavism itself. So you guys can have a better feel of that. But you need to set something up, otherwise it doesn't look good and you can't play it maybe. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again. For those that are interested in making your own MMO, be sure to go look for Atavism online website, and you guys can actually go purchase it there. Thank you. Talk to you again. Goodbye.